Thank you for joining us today for the virtual Sunday service with the Center for Creative Living. CCL, a charter of the Universal Church of the Master, has served and supported the spiritual needs of its community here in the Bay Area for over 20 years.
Good morning, and happy Mother's Day. And it so warms my heart to see you people here. It's always a challenge. I don't always share the challenges. Sometimes they say don't share the challenges. People don't need to hear it. But I couldn't find my talk this morning, so I've been hysterically through the paperwork, and I found the Mother's Day talk I wrote in May of '89. So I think if any of you heard it, you probably forgot it. So I will probably refer to it more than I refer to my usual talks because they're usually fresh in my mind. But, 89 is a little ways away. We have a wonderful element of today's service in that, first we're going to do birthdays. If there's anybody who has a birthday this week, month? Nobody, okay. Well, then they won't get any beads. We'll just save them for next month. Okay, thank you, Joan. Then, it'll get better, won't it, Janet?
It will. And I just invite us just to take a nice deep breath. And just stretch your body out. Stretch your body. Exactly.
Yes.
Feel the full height of you, the breadth of you, how you bring so much energy to the world.
Yay.
Just feel that stretching. And, realize that you are a mother and you are the child. You are the mother and you are the child. Even with our men. You are the mother, you are the child.
Yes, I do remember one of the things from the new talk that I wrote that, you're probably getting 3 years or something if I'm the rate I'm going, but one of the things I wrote was about how when mothering became celebrated as an adventure, so to speak, yeah, I know, people, it was mothers, it was women. But in our country particularly, men have a significant change in role. Men are partners in helping to raise children. Men are partners in stepping up if there's a problem, if the mother is ill or things have happened. If many men, which there are only men in the family, adopt children, and they're wonderful parents. Life has changed, and I think in many ways for the better. And I tried to focus on that as I was working on my One Day to Be Found talk. And what I realized was that, there's no question there's a lot of painful stuff going on in the world. I mean, if you look at what's happening in Gaza and all of that, it just breaks your heart. You look at these little children looking, either parents sobbing by the side of their gone-to-spirit child, or parents that are brokenhearted, or children that are brokenhearted because their parent is gone. And in such a volume, in such a small space, it's more visible. And so I think one of the things that we will ask to hold in our heart is that love for peace. Peace happens first inside us. I need to remember that. Of all the people in the room this day, this moment, the one who needs to pay the most attention to getting peace back into her heart instead of, where's my talk? Where's my shoes? Oh my goodness, what'll I do?
She's a poet.
Sort of. My boss one time said to me, you may think you're writing poetry, but there's a name for those kind of jingles, and it isn't poetry. And I said, okay. So I appreciated our taking a breath and Janet bringing our energy to center. It's good to see those of you who bring your hearts and your experience here with us all the time. And those of you who only are able to come for special occasions, I understand all that. Life is full of positives and negatives, and there's rarely somebody who wakes up in the morning and says, whatever shall I do today? You know, we have a different kind of life in this busy world. And if we think that it's not that way, then all we have to do is turn on the television or the radio and have somebody allow us to find out where it is in other places. Other people didn't have that. You know, before television and radio, and occasionally they'd get a wire across the sea, but it's not like now. If we want to see what's happening, you just go to one of the dedicated news channels and up flashes a picture of something horrid somewhere. So we're going to release that. We don't have to do that. We can say in our hearts and to each other, infinite creator, source of all light in our universe, bring us to that place and center where the light is strengthened and the balance is retained. Allow us to engage and allow through us, because in our belief system, Tom's and mine, we can sometimes feel the energy of those who have gone beyond us. You know, I'm a mother who has buried both of her children, and so I had a need to know that they existed somewhere. And so I opened myself for that existence. I don't mean I chat with my children every day, but I have had an experience where I believe there's still an existence in another place, a place that no doubt will go sometime. So I think for whatever reason, the universe decided it was none of our business to understand everything. We still can reach into those places, even though we don't have all the detail, we don't exactly know what happened, but we know that this is an educational place in which we learn how to understand ourselves, how to improve our relationship with ourselves, how to make ourselves better to persons that we're sharing relationships with, instead of saying, could you just get your shoes on? Poor Tom. So let's make that the focus and the feeling of this day. We have people who are here with us. We have people who are on the side with us. Mm-hmm. We have ahead of us an incredible conference. I'm very excited about the conference, and we even have the president of the church right here in the front row who can tell us a little bit about the conference in case you might not have received sufficient information.
You want me on camera or on the podium?
Huh?
You want me at the podium?
Yeah.
Sure. I think it always works for me.
That way you can break the cameras, guys.
Oh, I don't think we have to worry about that.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Thank you for being here. Mary's a wonderful speaker. Our conference is coming up this upcoming weekend. Oh, sorry. I'm getting yelled at for not being on the microphone, even though my mouth's big enough, so.
Yeah, but there's people online.
I know, but they,
Okay.
You trust me, you can hear me.
Just go.
Trust me. So we decided, since everybody's such a great mother, and fathers too, that we're running a special today. If you register for the conference today and today only, $35, okay? Just today, and that's a benefit to our mothers and, of course, the fathers too. Because without the mothers, you don't have the fathers, or fathers and mothers, or very like good friends or whatever. But this conference is going to be outstanding. You know, we have Garry Springfield again. We have Scout Bartlett joining us. We have many speakers and readers. Many readers and healers. I apologize. And, you know, it's silent auction is coming off well. Mm-hmm. And we still have our wonderful treasure table. So that we can bring in little items that we don't really use anymore, but are very good. And we can offer them to somebody for sale. All right, that'd be great. So if you guys can show up, and we would appreciate it, all right? Because
I got to order enough food, you know. My whole deal is food, people. If you guys all know me, my whole deal is food. But that way I can make sure we're going to have enough food, and we're going to have a lot of comradeship. You know, so come and join us, and you know, get to know people that you don't know, get to meet people that you haven't met, and get to meet our new people. We have a number of new people, and come and join and give them your wisdom. Let them learn from you, because this is about UCM and what we do, and what we do is very special, okay? Because our job is not only to help people like other nonprofits, but we also help them energetically and spiritually, you know. So let us, you know, as our committees and our groups, you know, let the new people come and learn the wisdom of all of you, because you all have that wisdom. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So I thank you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the conference, where I can drive you nuts more. It's my job. It's my job to drive people nuts, okay? Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Are you still accepting things for the auction?
The silent auction will close on Monday. We have to have time to get everything in. So all the cards and everything.
The treasure room
That was
is
what-
accepting things until the first day of the conference.
That is correct. The treasure table is open the whole time. You want to bring things in for any of the treasure tables, that's fine. Right, but if you want it for the auction, because we have paperwork we have to do, we need to have time to do that. Okay.
Who's in charge of that?
Treasure table?
No.
Yeah, silent auction?
Silent auction?
Send it to the president, and she'll get it to the people. Or if you're not sure, call Sheila at the office, okay, and make arrangements with her.
Because she's shutting it down Monday, and we don't want to mess with Sheila.
We prefer you to bring it to the office so we can get it set up, because we're setting up the day before.
Mainly, you need to know what it is by email.
That is correct. If you can take a picture of what you have, send an email, give them a price, but please communicate with Sheila. She knows what information she needs. I never pretend to know, okay? And it's not fair for me to try to guess. I only know the information I know because Jan and I submitted things for the silent auctions. That's how I know what's going on. So when it comes to conference time, I defer always to the conference chair, which is Mary Garry.
Let me get my pencil.
Okay. We forgot our hat today, okay? I'm taking up too much time here, guys. I want them to have their lovely presentation.
Real quick, for those that haven't seen the information, its location is where?
I have,
Just
Flyers
happen
are
to
here.
have.
That haven't seen it,
Yeah,
it's
it-
got a flyer.
yeah, I have a flyer for physically. If anybody online has not seen it, just go out to the UCM website. It's on the front page. So you can click on it.
Yeah, and it's at the
Mobile Home Park.
Mobile Home Park that is where Janet and Corey live, yeah.
Yeah, it's where Jan and I live. We got it very kindly. The park agreed to let us do this conference, okay? Parking will be, there's some parking, but if you park across the street, we have plenty of parking. So you might have to park across the street, okay? So we will be we'll be reserving for ADA, all right? But that's the only ones we're actually going to reserve for, okay? So I appreciate it, except for the unloads, all right?
Good.
Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Okay. I think we need a little music and a little,
There you go. I think you're right.
There's food at home. Food is a wonderful concern. I said food is a wonderful thing to be concerned about.
absolutely.
One of
Do
the
we
basic
have food
needs.
that the
Billy DeFrank Center.
Billy DeFrank Center left out for us? Usually, I mean, and that's, looks like a nice treat over there after the service.
I forgot to tell them about Arlene and
Well, next Sunday service, not today. Today you have me. Next Sunday, you're right. Next Sunday you'll have Arlene Phelan. She is a long-term minister flying in from New York and is going to, huh?
Florida.
I keep trying to put her in New York just because Tom and I grew up in New York, Florida, anyway, she's flying in from Florida and she will be the speaker next Sunday.
It's also, we have extra time afterwards. for the meet and greet, that type of thing. You know, we're having food, we get to stay an extra hour. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll have food and stuff here, so
Right.
people to come and enjoy.
Okay,
Thank you.
11:20, we have to go to music.
I'm doing open studios, but Corey was talking to me, and maybe I could come Sunday morning if someone wanted to reading with me early.
Let's do the music.
We'll figure that out.
And run the show.
We'll figure it out later, Lynn. Go.
So we'll just take a nice deep breath. And just allow the presence of your body and your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit to be right here. And just feel that energy flowing through you. And know that we indeed simply have to bring our entire presence here. In this moment, in this time, we are the light. And as we remember and commemorate all who have mothered us and all who we have mothered, whether there is a place in our heart for them, whether they are here on the earth plane or not. Their love is infinite, eternal, loving, and forever in our being, in our hearts. So just allow yourself to feel that loving, unconditional, beautiful energy just flowing through every cell of your body. We are loved by all mothers. Mothers come in all shapes and sizes. Mother comes with all kinds of heart. Mothers show up with all their wisdom. Mothering is healing the world. Mothers, oh mothers, we thank you and we love you. Mothers, oh mothers, we thank you and we love you. Mothers everywhere, we thank you, we love you. Mothers everywhere, we thank you, we love you. Mothers everywhere, we thank you and we love you. Mothers we thank you and we love you.
And Janet, we thank you and we love you too. Maybe you should sit next to Corey because I'm going to bring Lynn Rogers up, and she's going to do messages. And I'm bringing her up early in case she's inspired to do more than we sometimes do, because I thought it might be special for people.
So I could be sitting or standing, okay. Whatever you want. Okay. Well, here's a person who brought a lot of the energy of the Divine Mother to me long, long ago when I was waking up to realizing the world was quite masculine and religion was masculine. And Mary gave me a book, The Mists of Avalon, the most engaging 900 pages about the role of women long ago. So I'm just going to kind of go with the flow. I may stand, I may sit, see what feels right. B, may I come to you? Okay. Sometimes it helps. I guess we don't put names and months and days on our video, so I'll just be looking at you. And I see you as a person who did mothering successfully your way. You know, you worked and you found resources and you have moved through that. I do feel the energy of your late husband, Peter, coming in, and he does wish you a happy Mother's Day, and he is, he's smiling, and he had a burden in his life that, from the closeness to siblings who were challenged, that he carried all his life. That isn't with him right now, and it affected him too, and it was a part of him. And that seems to, but he's enjoying moving between your children, you know, at different times, and loves all of our good prayers as he completely transitions into a new realm. But he wishes you happy Mother's Day, and so, with love, and he's able to do that. Okay. Carolyn, may I come to you? And if you could just have your hands open and let's see. Can I ask a month and day? But it's on our tape.
Sure.
Okay. Can you? If it's okay with you, could you say your first name and month and day?
Carolyn, 425.
Yeah. So you're very connected to the Earth, which is the real ruler of Taurus, and your mothering has gone far and wide. It's happened through your work, it's happened through partnership, it's happened through spirituality. But there is someone on the other side of life, a much older person. You would think it's been a long time since that person's been gone, and she seems to be behind us now. And maybe, I don't know if she's an ancestor or someone you knew, but she seems behind us. Her garb is different than what we wear now. And she's saying you're very dear to her. She was a mother of yours or a grandmother in another life, but she was around your life. I guess they're saying we have some souls before we come in who may agree to take a broad protection of us. I never heard that before, where they're kind of an outer band. And she was one that shows that with you. So she's feeling that you're well and good. So, and maybe that role, as she moves on in her spiritual growth, she'll move from that. But you are also a band like that to others. You keep that wide band of protection to those you care about, and they're blessing you for that. Okay. Let's see, Joan, may I come to you?
Yes.
If you just open your hands, and if you don't mind saying your first name and month and day. I'm a sound.
March 24th.
Well, they're showing you wearing a lot of sparkling, silvery, really beautiful garb, and they have plans for you to be in this body quite a long time, so you might as well work on your vitamins, because they're seeing you as a role model and an example, and you're in a transition of finding the things that bring you joy again, that really bring you that zest. Because once you have the zest for something, you can go decades, symbolically. So I would see you as one whose years, if you so choose, would be very long on the earth. And this was true of you in Atlantis, where you were a creative, very creative, and wore this sparkling silver robe. So there are few people that you have concern for, you may not always hear from, and that concerns you at times. But as long as you're following that which gives you zest, all the others that you want to help will be helped. That's really uppermost for you right now in your path.
I love that word, zest.
Well, there it is.
It's my new word.
It is? Think zest.
Gonna adopt it.
That's what they're saying. One with very long pattern of life. Vanessa, may I come to you? Vanessa was my mother in the very last life. And you were my mother before, and she knows it. And she was Christian Scientist. I was an actress for a short time, and Vanessa was my mother. So we were kind of switching. Yes. I'm glad you're happy. Vanessa's taught me a lot, a lot. And we have a good rapport. I go every day to help her stand up and walk a little. Always open to volunteers. And so Vanessa, what I think for you is that you're happy where... You will. You're happy... Yes. You're happy where you're living now, and some good new things are coming to you that you don't know about. Okay. All right. I know this sounds strange, but I'd like to come to Tom, who is a Cancer and not a mother. Is it okay?
Sure.
Because he really
He's
also...
the one, but
Is it all right with you? Because the Cancer men often have such a strong, nurturing aspect. And Chris is also a Cancer with his sons. But I always knew when Jessica read for you, my mentor, and saw you, and I'll say it because I believe it's true, having lived before as Patrick of Ireland, that was a time when the Druids and the mother culture were getting submerged. And I feel that, Tom, you in this lifetime helped bring the wisdom of the mother back, coming full circle from Patrick. So the mothers celebrate you for your individual nurturance, people you sponsored like myself, but also for your work in letting the divine feminine come back into the metaphysical realm and empowering individual women in their ministry. So it's a very nurturing thing, and they're thanking you for that. All right. May I come to you? Can you say your first name and month and day?
As what I was, my birth name? Or my,
Both.
okay. I was born Wendy Estella, and that's where my middle name Wendella comes from. And my spiritual name is Stephanie, and September 17th.
And just open hands again and say the name you go by right now.
Brianna is my professional name. Stephanie is my name of my soul. The name of my soul.
You're very much a creative mother in that, like we saw last week, a new song can be birthed through you, and all kinds of things can be birthed through you. And there are people who are primarily creative, and the birthing is multifold, and it touches, there are many ripples that go out from you, like shimmering color, only this time I see it as pie pieces that go out and touch many in your realm. I do see a blue-green in your aura, which has to do with deep emotional healing. And I feel that might have to do with early experiences, and there may be somebody out of the body, a woman, a feminine, a person who is helping bring that emotional healing to you now. That has to do with maybe the image of a mother or the image of someone in authority who is like a mother. But deep blue-green is coming to you to heal a circumstance. And many things are going to be born through you that will go on and on creatively. Make sure they do. Make sure they do, and have a way to go on and on. Okay, who else would like a message? Mary? May I come to you? Okay. Can you say your name and month and day?
Mary
And just uncross your hands and say it again. And you've had some losses. I don't know, just touched on them briefly. You've been manifesting a very strong Irish life for a good while. Are you Irish in this life or not? A bit, but it was
Scottish, but yeah.
Yeah, but there's also a really strong lifetime in Ireland, and you may have come to this country when there was hunger and famine in your land, and even come by water. And also, I think that you were active in America when there were orphans and settlements and need for rights of women and many things. You were an activist in early America or coming forward. So you have some of your very close souls in your family, that come to you. And do you want to say a couple names of who was lost? Or not?
Muriel, mother.
Okay.
Wilma, Aunt Sis.
Okay. Just a moment. They seem to be like braiding around you, and they're more concerned for you than they're not troubled, but they're concerned for you, and they're holding you so that, and allowing the tears to come is very healing. It's very good, and it's how much you love them, but also to have some times when you do some things away from that also, because it's been wearing at you a lot. They want you to have a couple of soothing things or happy things, and then the time for the tears. When we have multiple losses, sometimes we need to assign a time and really cry, and yet have another time also. But one's touching you, and there's a goal that they're putting in your aura, and they are being healed. And as you heal, they heal. So, thank you. Okay.
When was that young man way in the back who's not one of us, had his hand up? I thought that might be nice.
Okay. Okay. John, can you say your month and day?
Month and day is July 19th.
And just, you can come closer or open your hands a little bit. Okay. Do you have a question, John?
No. My mother passed a few months ago, so.
And her name?
Sarah.
When you think of your mother, what do you think of?
I think of all the stuff that she's done for me. I think of she can't really stand still. She always has to be moving and stuff like that. And I remember I was in the hospital one time and she moving around, touching stuff. And me and my sister were like, stop. I remember that, and yeah.
I feel that she didn't want to go. She wanted to stay longer. I mean, that was hard for her. But she can be as active helping you as she was on earth. She can. If you just acknowledge it. And she's showing me a closet. I don't know what the closet symbolizes, a quiet place or something in the closet. But maybe you have a certain place where you place things that have to do with her. Maybe make a little altar, a special place, and plan some of your days with her. She would actually like to help you in the most everyday ways. She's really not gone. So she's doing and healing and being and sharing, but she can help you as much, even more, she's saying, as before. She's a very busy spirit, moving away. She won't be with you every minute because she's moving around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
May I do you?
Huh?
May I give a reading to you?
One more? You want to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
One
Okay.
more. Okay. Okay. So Mary.
Oh,
Let's see.
Mary, November 18th.
Gee, I feel your son from the other side is coming in strongly, and he has a very strong feet on the ground, and he's very much trying to support you now in things. When you tire, when you feel, I just can't do this, and I feel overwhelmed, and he's really there. He's really there. So he's a mainstay for you right now, and that it's good for you to be able to know that. He wants you to just, lean back and let him help. Let him help. They're proud of your mothering of their children, and there are many blessings coming to you. And your daughter's purpose will have something to do with this conference also. They don't leave you alone. They don't leave you alone. They want to say that. Many blessings to you.
Thank
from
you.
them. Thank you.
I'm sorry we have to stop, but for those of you who are going to be at the conference, Lynn will be there doing readings for a small window. I know she has 1,000 things going on.
Corey's going to make it possible that if someone wants me, they can call me, and I can find even a way to come here early Sunday morning. So if you'd like a coffee.
Okay, good. And then you're coming to you're a reader. Raise your hand. Everybody knows Joan. She's a reader. Kathy Corliss is bringing in Curliss, I know, sorry. We've only known each other for 10 years, but I never get things straight. She is bringing in a healing table, and Richard Gelius, who was our teacher, taught Tom and myself and many people, and he's flying in to work on the table with her so that we will have a high healing table that's very powerful. And is there anybody else who's going to be doing readings or? Huh?
Arlene.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean who is here. Okay. Would you like to put the beads away and to put the basket out and then do a blessing of the money afterwards? Joan? Yeah.
I am full of zest and can do anything.
So, I'm just gonna come up here real quick. I just want to say, because I gotta give the rest of the information. So anybody who registers today, it looks like it says $45 on the form. Put in the code Mother's Day. Put it in, and it'll automatically reduce the cost, okay? And it'll be voided at midnight. All right, I just wanted to let everybody know.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please hold your offering in your hand for just a moment and say after me, I live in a world of abundance.
I
live in a world of abundance. Okay, now who's going to pass the basket here? Mary is our basket lady. Here you go. I give, say it with me now. I give thanks for my spiritual community. I live in a world of abundance.
I live in a world of abundance.
I am happy to support my spiritual community.
Happy to support.
Thank you, Universal Spirit, for your love and support.
Universal Spirit for love.
Amen, and so it is.
Tom, would you like to come up? Just to do a little blessing of the photos that were brought of different mothers that, including yours.
I'm sorry, when you started talking, I didn't hear you clearly. Say again.
I would like you to come up. I'd like you to go by that table full of mothers, including yours. Thank you, Cora. And do a blessing for everyone. And if you didn't have an opportunity to bring a photo, just hold your mother's picture in your mind. And then if you would just step, okay. You don't have to go to each photo, but just do a blessing for the mothers.
The energy of mothers is the creative energy of our universe. And that energy is shared throughout all kingdoms. And we're blessed by it. And it is a blessing to all who share it. So be it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful altar full.
Isn't it lovely? It's so moving to see the power of the people who touched our lives, people whose lives we touched. There's a great power in mothering, and it started to be honored in, you can sit down, darling, if you're not, yeah. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you so much.
So, in many of the research that I've done, there's not much spoken about pagan times. You know, it's like the people who began to homogeneously live together in a camp because it was a better way to survive, all of that. They, of course, unfortunately, had no mechanism for making records as we do. There certainly was no computer to tell your story to, or some place to write your notes on paper, because paper hadn't come along yet. But that didn't mean that those places didn't have it. So I have always believed that it's your heart that drives your love for one another, and that particularly your heart drives a love for your mother, and your mother to you, and her mother to her, and all the mothering that has gone on for a very long time. And sometimes mothers have a challenge in their own life, and their own mothering gets a little mucked up. So that everyone might not have had a perfectly wonderful mother, but her heart or her experience would have wished that for you. I believe that. And when they get over it, they say, oh, why did it have to be like that? And I don't know if they tell you anything over there or not, but I think there's a lot more to our understanding once we get there. But personally, I'm not quite ready to go, so I'll just limp along with limited understanding, and that's what I'll share with you. But I do believe that mothering is innate. One of my favorite things on television, I don't know, it's some national geographic kind of story, and one of the pictures is a mother of something. I think it's a little something that lives in a tree, not a bird. And she's looking out straight, and her child bird, or whatever it is, runs behind her. She doesn't even turn her head. She just reaches out and grabs them and pulls them in. And it always makes me chuckle because, you know, that's probably what happened to each of us. And we just didn't understand. She may not have been looking at you, but she pulls you in to make you safe, make it go forward. And I want us to hold that inside ourselves today. In this one little day, forgive your mother her warts. Forgive your not understanding exactly why she made choices she made. My mother was a pistol sometimes, and my mother was a wonderful thing sometimes. So I want each of us to give that gift to ourselves on this day, whether you have mothered yourself or whether you haven't. And mothering is not always giving birth. Mothering is a caring intervention that you offer to the world, to someone special. And so, particularly for those of us who have recently lost a mother, and we feel a void that it feels like only a mother can fill. One of the blessings of our state of philosophy is that we believe that they're not gone, they just moved out of town. And that doesn't mean you can't send them a note or you can't reach into their energy. And so I want us to hold that for ourselves during this time period. The people that, you know, this is my 89. I thought, well, maybe there's a gem in here that I should be sharing with you. But you see, there's 12 pages, so we're not going to go through 12 pages looking for a gem. I'm going to ask the gem if it's available to pop right up off the page, and understand that part of understanding mothering is that a basic element to it is unconditional love. It's hard, you think, well, of course, everybody, all the good guys have unconditional love. It's okay till your breakfast is sour, or to somebody steps on your toes, or somebody breaks your favorite whatever. Unconditional love requires attention and focus, because life interferes in making things wonderful all the time. It doesn't it, Bill? So, one of the things that often happens is, somebody gets up at 3 a.m. when you're hungry and you're too small to get out of a crib, and somebody gets up, and quite frequently it's the person doing the mothering. So we have to have a model. Well, who's a good model? If we don't have them, if we don't come from a large family, or we don't have a mother that made us all happy, I put on the altar Kuan Yin, because that's the mother in Buddhism and Eastern religions, and the Mother Mary, who's the mother in my heart and the mother for Western religions. And if you look at Mother Mary, sometimes, one of the things we did less well as Western religion or Christian religions is that initially everybody was a Roman Catholic. Rome was in charge, and they were in charge of screwing things up pretty heavily. They would sell indulgences. I don't know how many of you know about that, but people believed in that time that you might not get to heaven on your own, but if you had an indulgence that you could buy from the church, then you could get away with doing most anything. Woo-hoo! And, I grew up a Catholic, so I can say less than wonderful things about them. And in that time period, Christianity for the first probably 3 or 4 years was centered in Jerusalem area. The apostles that were there were the ones kind of running it. And then as more and more people moved into Rome, first Rome said, no, sorry, Bob, we're not having any of that church stuff in here. And then they decided it would work for them. So they wheeled them in so that it then became organized, focused, all of the things that the Roman military and civilians did. And so they influenced Christianity, and then it kind of got out of control, and that's when they started selling tickets home and that sort of thing. All of that was going on, or not all of that was going on then, but after Jesus died, then Mary moved to Turkey, was it, Tom? Where we stumbled onto her house? It's in Turkey. And the apostles could go there for restoration. She just mothered who was left. And I thought, well, isn't that, when my children died, I thought, well, what am I going to do? I was in charge of mothering them. And you mother who's there. You mother who needs it. That's right. You open your heart and say, if there's something in here that helps you, help yourself. And that's kind of what we do here. And we also believe that it's not the kind of thing where if you get it wrong, the sky falls. You do the best you can. And so what may be right for you in a moment may not be right for you long term. And if you look back on life, I made some questionable decisions at occasional spots in my life, but I've given up thanks to my beloved, who was very good at helping people to say, just do the best you can now, go forward on the path. Don't waste your energy beating yourself up for the mistakes you may have made. And so I'm going to close it. I guess, are we supposed to say who's online? I don't know. What?
So Mary, I just had a thing come to me. Could
Go.
I just go while we're deciding that? And just something that we can.
Hold on. Go. Okay. Yeah, he said yes.
Yes. Motherhood is a circle between you and me. Motherhood is a circle that sets us free. Motherhood is a circle between you and me. Motherhood is a circle that sets us free. Motherhood is a circle between you and me. Motherhood is a circle that sets us free. Motherhood is a circle between you and me. Motherhood is a circle that sets us free. Sets us free.
And Jan and I will be in charge of opening the first part of the conference, so if you want to get that on-sale ticket, you haven't gotten it yet, we'll set you free then too. So, Ed, you got half a dozen people online, or 3, or?
Whoa. Sorry about that. So let's see, we're a little light attended today, but we have dear Annie from the north.
Yay, Annie.
We have Chris Brown from wherever she is. We have Carolyn Lozano, and we have Janice and Laura O, and we have Lisa K. We have Milan and Patty and Joyce, and Milan and his beloved were in Kauai, or are in Kauai. Lihu.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, and bless you for having your energy with us. And I'm going to stop at 11:56 because they were kind enough to put some treats over on that table for us, and you might want to check them out. Thank you all. It's always wonderful to be with you.